Today we are going to learn about radicals. Now what are radicals? Radicals in math represent root of a number. For example, if I am saying like square root of 5 or cube root of 9, fourth root of maybe 16 and so on. Okay, this representation of number with a root sign is nothing but radical. And in general we write radicals as nth root of a. Now this number that is inside the root sign is called as the radicand. The root that we are talking about, like the square root or cube root or fourth root, nth root, that is called as the index, and the root sign itself is called as the radical. Now if you look closely, radicals, okay, the root sign that we are putting the number under is nothing but can be represented as powers as well. So I can write maybe nth root of a as a to the power of 1 over n. Okay, just as we have laws of exponents, we have lot of laws of exponents. In the similarly, we can have laws of radicals as well, and they are very much closely related to the laws of exponents. So if we recall some laws of exponents, okay, say maybe a to the power of m times b to the power of m, then we know that it is equal to ab to the power of m. If we have two numbers with the same power, we can multiply those two numbers and raise it to the same power. Now in this one, if I just say instead of m, I put it as 1 over n, and I write the same law, a to the power of 1 over n times b to the power of 1 over n, it will be same as ab to the power of 1 over n. And if we look at that in terms of radicals, then we have our first law of radical, that would be nth root, okay, let me take another color, nth root of a times, okay, nth root of b, this will be nth root of a b. That means if we have two numbers under the same index, okay, the same radical, the powers are the same. I cannot have square root of a number and a cube root. No, the index needs to be the same. Okay, so if they are under the same index, okay, the same radical, then we can multiply those two numbers inside the root sign under one radical sign. Okay, so example, if I take it, can be like I have cube root of 5 times cube root of 4. This I can write as cube root of 5 times 4, that would be cube root of 20. Okay, so that's the first law of exponent, which says nth root of a times nth root of b is nth root of a times b. Now if I look at another say law of exponent that I know, that if I have a to the power of m divided by a to the power of say b to the power of m, then I can write this as a over b to the power of m. The same thing, if I represent, or I mean replace m with 1 over n, I end up getting the law of radical, which is I have nth root of a divided by nth root of b. This I can write under one radical sign as nth root of a divided by b. Example, if I have say fourth root of 8 divided by fourth root of 20, I can write it as fourth root of 8 over 20, and then I can simplify it further and simplify the radicals. Now simplifying radicals is one more important topic that we will have a look in our later videos. But first let us come to another law of exponent, which is, so this is our law of exponent, nth root of a by nth root of b is nth root of a over b. So now I have another law of exponent which says that if I have a to the power of m, and if I raise that to a power of n, it is same as a to the power of m times n. Now since multiplication is commutative, I can also write it as a to the power of n times m, which gives me back a to the power of n to the power of m. Okay, now in this one again, if I represent my m with say 1 over m, and I represent my n, or replace my n as 1 over n, okay, I get my law of radicals, and that would be that if I have a nth root of a, one radical nth root of a, and that one is just give me a second. Okay, so raised put under the radical sign of mth root. Okay, so we have mth root of nth root of a. This can be written as m times n. Okay, let's not use the sign, just write it as mn. We know that mn means it is m times n, and that as root of a. That means if we have a radical sign under another radical sign, we can multiply those two indexes. It does not have to be same, they could be different. Okay, so example, I can say that if I have cube root of square root of 4, then I can write it as 3 times 2 is 6. I can write it as 6th root of 4. Okay, and then we simplify the radical further after that. Another thing that I can do here is, suppose I have so let me just write this. This is our third law of radicals that we will usually use when we are simplifying radicals or solving radicals. Okay, another law that I can use, that would be so same thing. So if I have a to the power of m and I have raised it to the power of n, and if I replace that n, for example, if I have a to the power of m and then I have raising it to the power of 1 over n, I can write it as nth root of a to the power of m, which can also be written, see from here directly, it can also be written as a to the power of m by n. Okay, the same thing I can use to write another law of radical, that would be that if I have nth root of a to the power of m, okay, that can be replaced as a to the power of m over n. Okay, example, if the question is say square root of 4 cube, I can write it as 4 3 over 2, or if I am given 4 3 over 2, I can write it as square root of 4 cube and solve it. So that is one another law of radical that we will usually or constantly be using when we are solving radicals. So in our next video we will see how to simplify radicals.